Hello and welcome to Tour Talks. And once again, we've reached the end of the season. And it's a time of change, a time when many players are out of contract and managerial changes are taking place. But at the end of every season, a handful of clubs make a drastic change, and that's changing their identity. And this season is no different. First up, we have got Cambridge United, who, in my opinion, have done a fantastic job of redesigning their club identity. The club have gone the right way about this, and they consulted over 27,000 fans on this change. And what I really like about this new design is they have incorporated small elements of previous badges what have been used in the past. The current badge was introduced in 1986, so a redesign is well overdue. Now, what I really like about this design is that it's so simplistic, but there's so many meanings what form part of this badge. You'll notice right at the very top, you've got the famous Magdalen Bridge, which is an iconic part of Cambridge. And then you've got the iconic CU letters at the bottom. Now, this was an element that the 27,000 fans what were consulted really wanted to keep. So it's nice that they've listened to the fans and kept that there. But you'll also notice that this has got a dual purpose in this design. You'll notice the pages at the top, and the CU lettering forms part of a book. Now, Cambridge and the Cambridge rules were huge in terms of making up the game we know today. But also, Cambridge is famous for its education. So there's two meanings to that element of the badge, which I think is really clever. But it's kept so simplistic. So, absolutely fantastic from Cambridge, in my opinion. A great design. And most importantly, they have listened to the fans. Next up, we have got Yeovil Town. And I'm not a massive fan of this new design, I'll be quite honest. The old design is perfectly okay, in my opinion. It's a classic design. It's perfectly symmetrical, despite having plenty of elements. And in the new design, they've really stripped it down. Gone are all the fine little details, and we are left with just some lettering, a football, and a pair of, in my opinion, some poorly designed gloves which look like bird wings to some. I don't really know. It's not great. It's not great. But obviously the club have had a fall from grace over the last couple of seasons. They plied their trade in the Championship not so long ago, and now they find themselves in the National League. So this might be part of the club just trying to reboot itself and hopefully push on and get themselves back to the Football League. But regardless, it feels like a bit of a backward step. This new badge, it's nowhere near as good as the old design. But who knows, as you will see with the next badge we're about to feature, the club may go back on their decision and revert back to the original. And next up is Aston Villa, and, well, this situation is just a mess, really. The club have changed the badge once again. The current crest has only been in place for one season. Now, again, this is one I'm not a fan of. You'll notice the old Aston Villa crest, which was used from 1990 until 2007, for me is perfect. It has the equal amount of claret and blue. But the design, what they introduced in 2007, I always felt that it was a bit too heavy on the blue. There was only the AVFC letters above in claret, which really saved it. So when they introduced the new badge last season, I was rather pleased it's got that equal amount again. It just fits right, and obviously with it being an old school design. And I think this was done very well, and I'm sure I'm not alone when I was thinking that this will be the Aston Villa badge which will be used for many years to come, but after only 12 months, the club have backtracked, and once again, we've gone back to too much blue on the crest, and even more so now, because we've lost the AVFC letters above what were in claret, so now it's all just overbearing blue, and it's not really reflective of the club's colours, especially when you consider but the majority of the club shirt is in claret. Now, this redesign, it's been in the works for quite some time, and there were some leaks in the press, but it has been confirmed this week, 100%, that this is happening. I'm unsure as to why. For me personally, the lion should have been dragged right down towards the bottom, and the Aston Villa letters made much bigger right at the top in the centre, and maybe a couple of claret stripes in the background as well. That would have made this badge a lot better and more reminiscent of the classic design, which was in use from 1990 to 2007. So for me, this is a massive thumbs down, and I would have rather have seen the design used last season continue. Next up, we've got Scunthorpe United. Now, this is a throwback to an old badge, what was used by the club in past times. Now, this is only a temporary feature, I do believe. It is 125 years since the club was formed, so it is a celebratory year for the club, and they are doing this as part of that. Now, I really, really like this. I really like the Scunthorpe badge in general. Both show strength and obviously pay homage to Scunthorpe's steelworks and their history of steel making. So I really, really like this badge. And quite honestly, I couldn't pick between the two of them. I think both are excellent designs. But for 1 year, it looks like we're going to get this one on the Scunthorpe shirts to celebrate their 125th anniversary. And then I would expect the club to revert back to their iconic club badge with the fist and the iron girder. And last up on our list is Arsenal. Now, this is not an official crest change. However, the club for this season, and who knows in many more seasons to come, are going to display just the singular cannon on their shirts. Now, this is something we've seen be done by other clubs. The best example being Liverpool. It must be pushing 10 years now, but they retained the official club crest. However, on the shirts, we see the singular liver bird, and this proved quite popular and has remained ever since. So this potentially could be a regular fixture on the Arsenal shirt from now on. And again, it's a very nice retro throwback. Now, as far as I know, there's been no talk of the club ditching the official club crest. But on the shirts from now on, this is what will be displayed, and I'm a fan. So, thumbs up to Arsenal. So they are the club badge changes for the 2024-25 season. If we've missed any out, if there's any what's flown under the radar, please let us know. We'll do another video and feature them on there. And as always, thank you very much for listening. Make sure to press that subscribe button, and I will see you on the next Tour Talks.